Thank you, Lulu Fries'dat, for coming to join us.
It's a pleasure.
Filmmaker of Holler Back.
Right,
Yeah.
not voting.
Not in brackets, not voting.
In an American town, exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because I'm somebody who votes. I've voted since I had the chance to. And certainly there are a lot of people out there who think that folks who don't vote are either lazy, stupid, or convicts. Is that the case?
I don't think that people, for the most part, are uninformed or stupid. I think that they are smart enough to know the big picture, which is that there's a lot of things going on besides their vote in terms of what affects policy. People want to believe in their community and their government.
They do?
I think do. You see
good.
it around the world. People have a natural desire to have a meaningful democracy and a meaning relationship with the people who govern their communities, and to feel like their vision is being communicated within their community. I think that's one of the main things that I'm trying to communicate with the film, is don't just like say these people who aren't voting are like stupid or lazy. They see what's going on. They're smart.
Oh, I don't think they're stupid. And if the last 8 years proves anything, I think the people who vote might be stupid. But that's that's my own personal issue. Right. But you talk about, the people who don't vote are practically in the majority in this country.
They are in the majority of elections.
That's right. And if America is number one in most things, we're number one in seeming election apathy, though. But how does that jibe with people caring about their communities but not getting out there?
People feel powerless. And this is what I hear from people over and over again. When I talk to people who don't vote, they feel powerless and frustrated. And they have a lot going on. People are very busy, and there is no point in them taking time out of their day to make an effort to stay informed, to go to the polls, if what they feel ultimately they are engaging in is a facade. And that in fact, it is not the votes that determine the outcome of policy decisions. It is major financial contributions, deals that are done behind the scenes, voting equipment that is rigged or malfunctioned, all of these very powerful forces that are in play, corporations that have high stakes in this process that are making a lot of these policy decisions. And people aren't stupid. This idea that people who don't vote are stupid is so inaccurate. What's interesting is that across the board, everybody acknowledges that the system is a mess. Even people who are activists and vote every election will often say, yes, the whole system is messed up.
The public loves American Idol, and they can certainly turn out and vote for that. 97
million people voted in American Idol.
And how many people voted in the presidential election of 2004?
It's about 120 million. Not much more.
Not much more.
Although they can vote twice in American Idol,
right.
So you don't know, that's not necessarily 97 million people, but
but people have more faith in that solution, that outcome, than in the presidential election.
Well, there isn't any indication that that system is rigged in any way. Right. As far as I can tell, people have confidence that their votes are being counted accurately. Right. Well, if they can count the
there
votes...
There are multiple votes.
There are multiple votes are being counted accurately. If we can accurately count the votes for American Idol, I don't know why we can't accurately count the votes for our elected officials. But I think what you can see there is that when the process has meaning to people, which that process does, people care about who wins American Idol, and when they feel that the process is legitimate, they do participate. If we could replicate that system in our elections, we could get more people participating.
All right.
Why don't more people participate in elections?
I don't think they're running for office and trying to be a president because they want to do better for this country or for the people. They do it because of money and power. It's greed.
They out to help themselves first.
It's understandable that people are alienated. They don't have sufficient cash to get in the conversation. And unfortunately, that kind of political alienation leads to a kind of political despair.
Who even knows if our votes are even counted?
I know it's important, but my business is more important.
No one can afford to stand on the sidelines and sit this one out.
I believe family is key to everything. So many people now are trying to define it a different way.
Abortion, gay rights, the environment, jobs, the war in Iraq. I just felt like I really needed to do something.
They've been working Anywhere from 15 to 19 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Are you registered to vote? No.
The machine broke.
They're not redirecting them, they're just sending them away saying that they can't vote.
I was told that I have to vote at the church.
We did not have her name in any of our books.
It's no longer appropriate for the parties to be running our elections.
There's so much corruption.
You can hack the paper trails as easily as you can the internal numbers.
Republicans say that some machines in the city already had votes on them before the polls opened.
There is fraud.
In the last 3 to 4 elections, how many times have you voted?
I voted twice.
On the same day?
Yes.
Everything in your life deals with politics in one way, shape, or form. You know, like your air, water.
And it's not just voting. Think about what kind of world you want to live in.
I would like to eliminate the Electoral College.
Personally, I'd like to see it go to the popular vote.
I believe in funding. I think we ought to fund candidates.
I really don't believe that money is the problem.
We need more communication.
Democracy at its best is about people speaking to and talking with one another.
It can't always be on television.
I've never thought of any of this stuff.
Just talk to me.
So if you had one word of advice to give the non-voters out there, what would it be?
Come and see the film, because I think that there's something really meaningful about seeing that other people feel the same way as you. And I think people who don't vote, it's kind of taboo. They very rarely talk about it. It's very rarely asked. And I think it's really healthy to just see that you're not alone and that the way that you feel is a totally reasonable way to feel.
But you want to get them past that, though, to vote. You want them to participate.
Participation can come in so many different stripes. I think voting is one way to participate.
But not the only way.
It is absolutely, and not even necessarily the most important way.
But wouldn't you like to see our percentage up there with...
I would like to see us at 94%. Yes, yes. Like Australia.
Because that's the most depressing part of the movie, is like watching those numbers go, like, oh my goodness.
Right, yeah, we're even with Iran right now. We're at 61% and Iran's at 60%. Yeah, we can do better.
I think we can.
We can.
It seems a little more receptive to voting here.
What I think we have to do is really start to fix these problems within our elections, and once we do that, people will begin to have faith and they will come back and start to participate.